Alright guys, I'm going to show you how I fix the eyes on a makehuman model, bringing it into Blender. Um, I spent quite some time trying to figure out why I could not get the eye texture to go on correctly. And I kind of made a workaround. I'm sure it's not the correct way. So you select. Oh, I'm in pose mode. But my way works. So I'll show you a couple tricks. So you select the eye. Go into edit mode. Then select A. And because I'm in compositing mode, I get this view here, which is the unwrapped or whatever. So you go down here, and your eye colors that came with your makehuman model is not in there. So I go to File, Textures, Blue Eyes, Open Image, and it's perfectly laid over where they're unwrapped, right? That's what you're thinking. Well, if we go to render, his eyes are white. Now if we go to use node, and then we go to add texture, image texture, we connect that up, his eyes are purple, which means this is actually working, right? You would think so. So if we go to this tab, we got blue eye PNG, and his eyes go black. And I've been fighting this for almost an hour now, and I watched a couple YouTube videos, and they had the same problem, but they just acted like it didn't exist in their tutorial videos, and they never actually solved it. So here's what I'm going to show you, some tricks here. This right here, this iris, this is the whole eye. I don't know what this is. Maybe that's the back of the eye, because it's a half sphere. So maybe that's the back side of the eye. But this right here is where your color and stuff comes from. So I'm going to click A to select everything. I'm going to click G to move it. And see how his eyes went white? Whatever is under this right here is what's going to be his eyes. I don't know what this is, why it's there like that, but so this is your eye right here. You can ignore this. I guess this is the inner part. So here's my workaround. I'm sure this is not the correct way to do it, but this is how I get it to work. Now if you wanted to go into paint mode, now I've done this before too. If you go into paint mode over here with paint mode, and you wanted to paint your own eye colors, what you do is you paint this thing over here. You want to resize it bigger and paint this. If you paint these, nothing's going to show up on your eye. So depending on how you've unwrapped it. But this automatic unwrap right here, this is actually the eye. So I'm going to hit S for resize, and I'm just going to make it big. I'm going to hit G to move. Now we're getting somewhere. Now if I move this over this blue, let's zoom into him some. See, that's his whole eyes are blue. So I need to resize even bigger. G to move. And we're getting somewhere. Size even bigger. G to move. Now look at his eyes. You can see the blues coming through. So size even bigger. And I found that the right size is a little bit bigger than the eye. We're gonna go... That looks pretty good, really. Maybe just a hair bigger. Move it back over. And you can play with your eye size and stuff, but I mean, that's looking pretty decent. And I'm actually getting the eye on there. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And that's the trick right there. These have, I guess that's the back side, because if you go to texture mode and we pull his eyes out, and then we go to render. I don't know if we're going to be able to see it, but oh, my computer's too slow while I'm recording. But those are just a half sphere, the eyes are, so it's got to be the inside and the back that these cutouts are for. Let's see if I can get back to where I was. So yeah, that's the trick. You just, I mean, I think a better way to do it, which I haven't tried yet. I just figured this all out after spending hours messing with nodes and materials and whatever these things are, vertex groups, and I've messed with everything for hours, and I just figured out this method right here, which leads me to believe that it may work if you used one of the different unwrap methods compared to this way that it automatically does it. You know how you got different ways of unwrapping, but I haven't tried that yet. I just figured this trick out, and this works. And look, his eyes look good now, and we'll just slide them back into his head, and yeah, after an hour and watching several YouTube videos of people having the same problem but they just ignored it like it wasn't a thing, you know. They had just jet black eyes in the head, and they didn't fix the eyes. But yeah, that's how you do it. Or that's one way of doing it. And I do believe you got to put this node in up here, or it might not work. Let me... Yeah, you have to put this node with the texture, image texture, put that there, put that there. Open that. Yeah, you've got to do that anyways, but you also have to do this part. I mean, you could do this part from over, you go to materials, and you could just, there'll be a little button right here that says add node, and then you can click the side and add image texture. You don't actually have to use the nodes, you can do it all from right here. But yeah, this is what I had to do to get his the color in his eyes, and it took me hours to figure out. So I hope this helps somebody. Later.